Okay. I'm going to call the West Easton Council meeting to order. We have Joan, take the roll, please.
Mr. Dees,
Here.
Mr. James,
Here.
Mr. Nixon, Mr. Mamana,
Here.
Mr. Bolash, Ms. Jones-Brown,
Here.
Mr. Decker.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Okay, first item on the agenda, we have a quorum, by the way. First item on the agenda is approval of expenditures as presented. Do I have a motion to approve?
This is
Pete,
Paul.
I'll make a motion.
Approve.
That would be Paul. Paul was the motion, and Pete, you were the second.
Fine.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of deposits and receipts for October of 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, Pete.
Do I have a second?
I'll second this, Janie.
Any discussion? Motion's approved. Approval of minutes from October 12th, 2020 council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve?
This is Paul. Motion to approve is presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second, Pete.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Approval of treasurer's report for October 2020. Do I have a motion to approve?
This is Paul. Motion to approve.
Do I have a second?
I'll second, Pete.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Ms. Mezzacappa, I see you in chat. Okay. Just to let you know, you haven't been to one of these before. The public comment coming up is for agenda items only. If you have an item about anything on the agenda to make a comment about, now is the time to unmute. Anybody for an agenda item? Okay.
When do I get to make a comment about a non-agenda item?
If you go to the link, you should see a link in the chat room there. You'll find a link to the agenda. You can download the agenda, and it's near the end of the meeting after new business. It's additional public comment. It's open comment.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Engineers report.
Well, they have the two resolutions they asked us to approve, and you need to formally decline the bids on the Phase 2, the pole barn building.
Okay. Do I have a motion to decline both bids received for Phase 2 of the pole barn building? The bids came in higher than expected.
I'll make a motion, Pete.
Do I have a second?
This is Paul. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes, bids are declined. We have
Pardon
resolution.
me. This is Steve. Pardon me.
Yeah.
Before we go any further,
Yes,
I think we should have some clarity as to just who's going to tell them that the motion, that the bids were declined. Should it come from Joan? Should it come from the engineer? Should it come from me? I don't care who. It's just we should make that clear so we don't let it slip.
Joan, you want to do that? Well,
Right, well, We sort of informally did it last time, but I wanted to formally do it this time. And then the engineer will let the two parties know that they were both turned down.
Okay, let the motion reflect that Joan will inform them formally. Okay, resolution 2020-032, authorized to apply for an LSA Monroe County grant. Do I have a motion to approve?
This is Paul. I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2020-32.
Do I have a second?
Janie, I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We have resolution 2020-033, authorized to apply for LSA Northampton County grant. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, Pete.
Do I have a second?
Janie, I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Office report. Approved to advertise the 2021 budget. Let's do these separately. Approved to advertise the 2021 budget. Do I have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion, Pete.
Do I have a second?
This is Paul, a second.
Any other discussion?
This is just a motion to advertise,
Yes.
correct? Not just to advertise the budget.
You're right. Just advertise.
Got it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I'm going to ask for a motion to approve the 2021 dates for council meetings. Do I have a motion to approve?
This is Paul, a motion to approve the dates as presented.
Do I have a second?
This is Janie, I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Matt.
Yes.
Technically, you should approve the proposed budget that's to be advertised. It's a technicality, but just to cover our bases. Everybody's had the budget forever. Does everybody approve the proposed budget?
Okay. Let's redo the motion. Motion to approve the proposed budget. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, motion passes. All right, thank you, Joan.
So Matt,
Yes,
so we've approved the advertise and we've also approved the proposed budget, correct?
we've approved to advertise the proposed 21 budget.
And we as a council, we've also agreed, we've also approved the proposed budget, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be clear.
Well, no, actually, we haven't approved the proposed budget. That would come next. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Joan, Ms. Mezzacappa has a question about we're going to post the proposed budget, correct?
Yes, it has to go in the newspaper and it'll be online.
Okay. Sewer, I'm sorry, office report, anything other than that, Joan?
No, that was it.
Okay. Sewer report?
Okay, so Easton Area Joint Sewer Authority met on October 19th, 2020. The basis of this was the same thing we're talking about today with regards to budget. We were moving forward to approve the sewer budget. This year, they added a little bit. We approved the consulting engineers are going to work on this wastewater treatment, fat oil grease treatment process. The process, along with the 5-year plan for the sewer, all of this sounds great, and the 5-year plan will cover some work on the mains. You recall there was a leak in the river. There was also some pumping stations that need upgrades, and some other projects. So it's to keep the sewer in good condition. They've come a long way. The downside of all of these repairs is a little bit extra. When we did our budget, remember, if you guys reviewed our sewer, we've incurred a little bit more debt, and our treatment price is about the same, but our debt our debt support is a little bit higher. It's not going to reflect. I don't think it'll hurt us, but just bear in mind that there will be an increased cost next year to the sewer to support the debt and the borrowing that they're doing to support capital projects. It's broken out over 10 years, so it's not that big of a deal, and they're hoping that this wastewater treatment, fat oil grease treatment, they're hoping that will offset some of that cost, and actually they'll break even at some point. So that's about it. Does anybody have any questions regarding the sewer?
Paul,
Yes, sir.
that doesn't reflect any increase in the sewerage rate for next year.
No. Our treatment price will be the same, but our debt is going to rise a little bit too. So, and I'll highlight this a little bit more when we talk about our utilities meeting too. So that's all I have, Matt.
Okay, thank you. Solicitors report.
I don't have anything other than items for executive session.
Okay, thank you. Council President's report. Let me get on my cheater glasses here. Okay. West Easton is still financially sound despite the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm expecting there will be no tax increase for our community in 2021, as we just talked about in the budget, and everyone will see. But our financial committee can give more details on that when we get to Mr. Romana's committee report. I wanted to note that this was an historic election year for West Easton. That has nothing to do with winners or losers in the political races. I just wanted to point out that West Easton had a 73.51% turnout of registered voters and added 39 more voters to the voting list since April. I went back more than a decade, and the best turnout I could find previously was 71.05% in 2016, which was at that time an increase from 60.57% in 2012. These numbers indicate a more active West Easton electorate over the last decade, and that's something our borough can take pride in. Okay, now that the council has formally declined both bids received for Phase 2 of the Public Works building, I'd like to suggest that each council member contemplate any changes to the project as a whole. This coming year, I'm hoping council will try to save the borough taxpayers' money wherever possible. I'm asking that for future PSAB conferences, we limit the number of attendees to 1 or 2 council members rather than a full complement. If anyone has other ideas, please feel free to forward them to Mr. James or myself. Finally, I'm pleased to announce that because of the efforts of our borough manager, Joan Hebner, she was able to obtain a COVID-19 block grant worth $9,136 for our borough, and that's a no-match grant. It will be ready for Mayor DePaul to sign before the end of the week. This grant will pay for technical upgrades, including Zoom that we're using now, and various forms of PPE protection. I want to point out this is an example of the worth of Ms. Hebner as our borough manager. This council had seen the offer of this grant that required a minimum of $3,000 in expenses, and those of us that bothered to briefly look at it assumed we wouldn't need $3,000 worth of hand sanitizer, Lysol, or masks. Joan asked if she could pursue it on her own, and I saw no reason why she shouldn't, though expected West Easton would not qualify. From what I understand, the grant involved more than just PPE supplies, which Joan discovered, and with my approval, due to the short window available before the application closed, She sent in the application, and we now have more than $9,100 for use during this ongoing pandemic. I personally thank Joan for remaining our borough manager despite what may seem like an unappreciated position. Back in April, this council presented Joan with a plaque in appreciation of all she does. Joan, you've shown once again it was deserved. Thank you. So kudos to Joan, and Joan, you are appreciated.
Thank you.
Chief of Police report. Chief, gotta unmute.
I'm sorry, was I muted?
Yes, you were. Put down the donut and coffee.
Easy. It's not coffee. No, I don't think I have anything significant. We just have, I think that the behavior of the parking in the borough has changed dramatically. I have a hard time finding some things, like, there's some inspection things like that, but I'm trying to be decent with COVID and whatnot. A couple people were cited this week for vehicles that were left out prior to us towing them off the roadway. But a couple minor incidents in the borough in the last couple weeks, but nothing significant to report, or that I'm able to report.
Chief,
Yes.
I received correspondence from a neighbor, and I'm going to be forwarding it to you.
Okay, and I don't know if this is on the same note, but also I have some I won't say bids, but some prices in on those signs and some information. There's a chief's meeting tomorrow that they're going to gather some information on the radar signs. They're not enforceable, but the slow down and the speed signs that are in the borough. One thing I was concerned about was originally, I thought that we didn't use those on the state police. I thought that they put a speed up to any speed. And actually at one point, they'll say slow down or too fast. So I'm kind of glad it does that rather than entice people into using them as a way to test their nerve on the couple streets. And there's a couple streets I've been sitting at and through complaints besides Spring Street, also up on Ridge Street. And I think it's worked pretty well, but it's hard to be everywhere at once. But I will give you those estimates. There's like 4 estimates on speed enforcement signs.
Great, thank you.
Sure.
And Chief, you haven't forgotten those SOPs and manuals, right?
No, I have them printed. I have them with me right now. They're in my briefcase. I think I have them on the thumb drive as well, so I can give them to you like Thursday or Friday. I just have something to do tomorrow. I just don't know how long it'll take, but otherwise Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, great. Is that it, Chief?
Yeah, that's kind of it. I had some incidents. I just don't think that. I mean, I'll break this down a little better in the future and just say, hopefully we don't have it. Say, hey, we have 7 burglaries, we had 3 thefts, or something like that. But hopefully we don't have that. But the incidents I've had are not. I'm not able to share really. Besides, there was a
Sure.
couple 2 crashes in the borough.
Okay. All right. Any other council member have a question for the chief? All right, we'll move along. Mayor's report.
DUI center still down. They're locked down, so most of these guys are on furlough or they're working and go home. So they might still be using it for training, but that's about it for their sheriff's department. Dane picked up leaves this morning, and I helped him this afternoon, and he told me that if he goes over to the Palmer recycling where they drop their leaves, they changed the locks on the entrance because the workers in Palmer Township were passing keys around and too many people were going in unauthorized, and they wouldn't give them a key. So I called up Dave Colbert, the supervisor, the chairman supervisor of Palmer Township, and he agreed that Dane will get a key to get in, and he is trustworthy that you don't have to worry about keys being made or unauthorized people going in there. So that took care of that. And if you don't know about the newest truck going down, I think, Rob, you had to escort or follow the truck over to the repair shop the other day. It only went 4 miles an hour.
Yeah, it went, well, at the most we ever got to was 10 miles per hour. That was downhill.
How long did it take you to get from here over to Southside?
I think it took us about an hour. I did actually record it, but it worked out well. It's just a hard time navigating so other people weren't annoyed. You know, it was able to pull over. It saved the borough a significant amount of money in towing. I think it was the right thing to do, and I believe it's all fixed now.
Well, here's the rest of the story. I just wanted you to say that, because once the truck got over there, Kickline's owner realized what was wrong with the truck and indicated that it might be under extended warranty. So since I was there was no way to drive that vehicle over to Star Pontiac or at JMC or whatever it's called. So since I was sitting in the truck and was a passenger, I called my insurance company. Instead of paying $250 for a tow, they towed it for nothing, and the truck got fixed for nothing, and it got inspected for nothing.
Good job, Mayor. Thank you.
The truck is back on the road. Rob, your steering wheel was so loose that it wobbled back and forth. That got fixed for free. Is it working up better now?
Oh, it's perfect now. It was a little loose there, and then I've seen that with other vehicles, but it's. I know it's very difficult to take it off though because of the airbag is an issue.
Yeah, well, I had that fixed for free from our previous in-house mechanic, which he did it for nothing. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the assist too on the truck and vehicle.
Thanks.
Okay, council roundtable. Anybody got anything for the roundtable?
I did. This is Janie. I wanted to say that I attended the PSAB virtual conference, as I know many of you probably did. And I have to say, I absolutely love the virtual format. I could do it right from home and hop on very easily and receive lots of great information. I also attended the watershed friendly training. I'm currently working on filling out an application for my home. And I wanted to know if council would like me to look into possibly trying to get this certification for our parks. Of course, I could bring this information to next meeting about prices and any work that we would need to do. So if you're interested in that, let me know. I'm also your Merriam User Library representative. We are having a new fundraiser. We're having a plant sale. So if you'd like to support it, stop by our beloved community library. You can also stop by, or you can call for curbside pickup of books to enjoy a good book. And I think that's it. So thank you.
Janie, I have a question about this certification for parks. I mean, what does that do?
Yeah, well, it's watershed friendly certification for properties, and they did say you could do it for parks, community parks as well.
All right, yeah, I guess forward the information to us. We'll take a look at it, sure.
Sure thing. I gave Joan the application and information, and we will talk more about that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Matt?
Yes.
This is Paul. I just wanted to thank those folks involved in the budget, the mayor, Dave, our clerk did a lot of hard work. June, our manager, did a lot of hard work and a lot of input, and definitely Dan provided us a lot of good input and feedback, and with the leadership of Pete, I think we did a pretty good job. I just want to recognize all those people. There's a lot to go in there. We worked on this since July, and I think it turned out pretty good.
Yeah, and the same goes for you too, Paul. You did good work as well. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Paul. Pete. Matt.
Yep. Everyone, good job this year. I think we'll be fine for next.
Yep. That's all.
Thank you. Committee reports. Business and finance. I guess we kind of covered that, Pete, but if you want to give any other detail.
Just going to say, now that the budget's finalized, I wanted to thank Paul, also Matt, and also Dave and the mayor. Yeah. And I don't think we're going to be having a meeting. We're not going to have a meeting for this month.
Okay. Make a note. All right, property and roads is Mr. Bolash, who isn't in attendance tonight. Trying to think off of my head if there's anything about property and roads. Nothing that comes to mind immediately. I know next year we're going to try to attack some roads and maybe get a few done with the money we have and money coming in. Public safety and personnel. I believe we met with Chief Mahady and went over like the manuals and SOPs that we need in, and the mayor was there, right? And we talked about the budget for when we get the part-timers out on the road and how many hours are all anticipated. That's the mayor's purview to decide hours of work. So I guess when the mayor and the chief figure out that, they'll let us know. Legal and technology. Who would be?
That's Mr. Bolash.
All right, then who was
Rhodes is Ron Nixon.
Oh, Ron Nixon. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dave Bolash is also not here, but I don't think there was anything in legal and technology. Did they even meet?
We didn't have a meeting.
Yeah. Okay. Utilities and fire service.
We met on the 28th of October. We were lucky enough to have the mayor again and Dave, Pete, kind of myself. We're talking or discussing rates, and Dave was able to provide us with some really good information, and we were able to kind of work out a few different rates, and we're not at any point where we can, we can come out and say this or that, but I think what we're looking at is very promising, and I think everybody is going to be happy about that. I presented the budget figure for this year, projected sewer expense, and it's in my report. Projected sewer expense for 2021 that will be was projected to be $158,348.68. That would bear in mind that's just our treatment and our debt service. We were also reminded by the mayor to vote for on election day. So I have more to follow with the rate, and we're still working on the rate. And I would like to set up a meeting this month to kind of work on it more. Dave said he had some more data and some more up-to-date stuff too. So I would like to schedule a meeting for November 18th at 6 p.m. if Ken and Pete, you're available.
Yeah,
that works for me.
Yeah, that's fine. Fine with me also,
Okay.
Paul.
And Dan, I don't know if you can attend, it would be even if you could just call in, that'd be great.
No, that's fine. I think I want to make one thing clear. When I said I wanted people to vote, we're talking about the fire company officers. Is that what you were pertaining to?
Yeah, that's what I meant. I left that out. I'm sorry. Thanks for.
And that's tomorrow night.
No, they changed it to December, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did change it to December 8th, I thought.
Okay.
I have it on the-
I heard that it was going to be posted because they had to wipe bar area down. So that's the final decision then?
Give me a second, I'll look it up, but yeah.
Yeah, I think they posted that on their Facebook page, December 8th.
Yes, December 8th, Tuesday, December 8th.
All right.
That's all I have for utilities, Matt.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Parks and Recreation, always the fun one.
Thank you. We did complete 4 of our drains, and I think they look really nice. Robin Strawn and Sharon Nico and myself, we worked really hard off and on, battling with the weather. And then my husband helped with graffiti proofing them. We have that all finished now. We have lots of supplies still left, so we will be back at it in the spring because, we're kind of at the mercy of the weather. But we've been very fortunate that it's been warm. And we also received just the amount of compliments, the amount of residents that stopped driving by or riding their bike or walking by. It was amazing. So thank you for your support of that project. Our rock garden project is almost complete. Thank you to Dane for getting mulch. And special thank you to Kenny Decker. He came out this weekend and he edged it out. It looks really nice. He spread around the mulch. And we have a sign coming at the end of the week that'll say West Easton Rock Garden with some directions. And we'll be putting out some colorful rocks too to spread some sparkle and some cheer. We also are looking into having a holiday light contest. And Kenny, you can speak to this, but he has secured some prizes. So thank you so much for all your help. And we'll be asking residents to decorate by December 18th. And we are needing to finalize judging and how we're going to let people know and sign up. So we do need to hold a meeting. And I can't remember when Paul scheduled his meeting. I was thinking the 18th for ours, but.
Mine's the 18th, but if you guys do we'll do our meeting at the borough.
Okay, we're going to be virtual.
So you can do them on the same day.
Okay, and I wanted to do virtual on the 18th, but I wanted to go early. So Kenny and Pete, how early can you go on that day?
How long do you expect it to last?
Just a half hour, probably even less, because we really just
Okay.
need to specifically talk about the holiday light contest.
How about 5:30 then?
5:30 earliest you can go?
You want earlier than that?
If we could, How early can you go?
Let's see. It's a Wednesday. Got to have them there at 4:45. Okay, 4:45 about around there is the earliest I can go, or 4:15, whatever.
You want to do 4:15? Kenny, can you do 4:15?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and like I said, it should be pretty quick. I will research and have all our information to screen share, and I'll send you the link.
Okay, 4:15.
Okay.
4:15 on November 18th.
November 18th, right?
Yes, November
Okay.
18th.
Yep, okay.
Janie, I have a question. How are we planning on getting the word out to residents?
Facebook page, and that's what I was hoping to talk about at our meeting, how we were going to advertise this. Because you really do need residents to let us know, and we need to figure that out. Of course, I will contact Joan before our meeting to see if she has any ideas how to organize this. So
Yeah.
and then I'll bring the information to the next council meeting.
And it wasn't in the last newsletter, right, that you were hoping to have one?
Yes, so we've kind of already planted that seed, but now we want
Right.
to get, especially because Kenny secured. How many gift cards did you secure, Kenny?
Right now I have 2 gift cards. I'm working on a third one.
Good, because we really just.
I tried to do a couple businesses in the borough, but they really don't do gift cards, so I'm gonna think of another way to do it.
Yeah, we just wanted a couple, nothing major, just like something small, little incentive. Make it fun. All right, thank you.
All right. My only suggestion on that, Janie, would be to make sure everyone understands it's a holiday light thing. So all holidays are
Yes, oh, definitely.
Okay.
Especially with being a public school teacher, I completely agree.
Okay.
That's why it will be called holiday light contests.
Yep.
People celebrate in different ways, and we'll be respectful and
Yes.
considerate of that.
Great. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And great work on the drains, by the way, for you and
thank you.
your subcommittee people. And they do look good. I like the color. The color it gives the borough. I hope we can do more.
Thank you. We hope to do more in the spring as well. Thank you.
Grants and public relations.
That's me. We did not hold a meeting, but I gotta thank you and Joan because you do a lot of work for the grant.
Well, that last grant was like all Joan. Really was. It was just Joan was calling me saying, "What do you think?" I said, "Go for it." You know me. I love grants.
But I gotta thank you for helping me out with that because me being new to council, not really knowing that, so I appreciate that work that you do.
You're welcome. Okay. Unfinished business. Joan, when is our next newsletter due?
January?
January.
Mhm.
I know it's kind of far out, but if you can make a note, I'm really happy about the voter participation, and I think we should mention that in the newsletter about how this borough really went out and did the vote this year.
Right. If you want to put something on Facebook, we can.
Yeah, sure. It's where's my numbers? 73.57% of registered voters.
Got it.
Okay. I'm sorry. Anybody else for unfinished business? New business? Okay. Additional public comment.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, my first question is published in Zoom chat.
Can you state your name and address, please?
You know what my name and address is?
Can you state your name and address for the record,
No,
please?
because you know what it is.
Tricia, you just have to do it.
Yeah, it's Tricia Mezzacappa, 817 Ridge Street.
Thank you.
I need an answer to my question that I put in Zoom chat.
Ms. Mezzacappa, this is Steve Gutsuzian. This is the time for public comment. If you would like to make a public comment, please do so.
Well, I have questions. My public comment is, I have one public comment, but I have about 8 questions that I would like to ask.
You're more than welcome to ask your questions, but this is not you're not necessarily going to get a response today, but you're free to say whatever you'd like.
Okay, well, I have them in order. I wrote them down. The first question is, when do you plan on returning to in-person meetings? Because there are various people in the community who are interested in attending meetings and who don't have computer capability to do it.
Thank you. What's your next question?
Well, can I have an answer to that one?
Ma'am, what's your next question? It's public comment. Please go ahead.
Okay. I was told that in order to get any information from the borough, I have to file a right to know request, even for basic information, and I would like to know why I have to do this.
Okay. What's your next question, ma'am?
I'd like to know when the new police officers are going to be sworn in.
Okay. Next one.
About codification of ordinances, I understand that this was done 2 or 3 years ago, and we paid the solicitor maybe $20,000 or so to codify the ordinances, and they were never advertised or adopted, and I'd like to know why.
Okay. Next question, ma'am.
I had heard that the fire company social hall was supposed to be sold, And I was wondering if it was going to be sold or if it was sold or what's going on with it. And I'd like to know how much the taxpayer contribution is going to be for next year for the fire company.
Steve, I can answer part of that question.
Well, that's okay. Let's just go through the questions. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, the next question is about the federal lawsuit that I found out was denied summary judgment in favor of the plaintiff, which is really horrible news for us taxpayers. And I'd like to know what's going to happen with a possible settlement or if you plan on taking this to trial.
Do you have any more questions, ma'am?
I think that's the end of my questions, but I do have one comment reserved.
Well, this is your opportunity to speak, ma'am. If you'd like, go ahead.
Okay. I have some concerns here about the conduct of Council President Matthew Dees. Okay, I have now been assaulted officially twice in 2 years by two separate women, both from West Easton. One was found guilty, one was pled guilty, and I attribute this to his false, disgusting hate blog filled with lies, slander, libel, and straight up garbage about me and my activities in this borough. And especially pertaining to my 2019 incident involving the state police, that he has absolutely no information about whatsoever at all, and he has intentionally tried to inject all kinds of garbage to the public that's not even remotely true, because he doesn't have one iota of information about what happened, and I don't appreciate it, and I want him to shut his ugly fat mouth. Because you're causing violence within the community.
Thank you. Anything else?
And you should resign. You're a disaster and you're a walking lawsuit. And you're an asshole.
Oh, thank you for participating today.
You're just.
Okay, I just muted Ms. Mezzacappa. Just for the record, Ms. Mezzacappa used profanity. That's not allowed at a meeting, so she's been removed. Okay, any other public comment? Oh, I'm sorry, Trudy, I see your hand up. There you go. You should be able to unmute, Trudy. No, it would be your end. I think that, there you go, you're on.
Okay. I don't have a comment, but I want to know if you can explain something to me. On this resolution 2020, 32 and 33, what does LSA stand for? It says LSA.
Is it Local Services Act? I sent it out to council. I don't know if I have it here at home. That's where we've been getting our grants from for the pole barn building.
It's Local Service Act?
I don't count on it. I'm trying to find it now. I sent it out to council. I don't know if I sent it to myself.
We'll make sure we know what it is and get whatever that abbreviation stands for. There's so many out there. CBBG. I can't keep them all straight.
It's local share account.
Local share account. Okay.
Yeah.
What is it? Local what?
Share.
Yeah.
I can't
Local
understand
share
what
account.
Local share account.
Oh, share?
SHARE, not the
Oh.
singer.
I couldn't, it wasn't coming through. I'm sorry.
Well, I know you like to sing. I know you like oldies and stuff. That's what popped in my head when they first said it was share.
Oh, okay.
Just in
And
case.
I have a suggestion to make. Before the meetings, do you think you could put the link on the website for each meeting? Because I use my cell phone and it's so small, I can't see it.
Oh, the agenda?
The agenda for each month. Do you
Yeah,
think you could put a
I
link
think,
on
we can, sure, I
the
think we can do that.
homepage?
Yeah, I think we can do that, Joan, right?
Yep, no problem.
Because I don't have a computer. I only use my little phone and it's really, really small.
Got a good picture.
All right, that's it.
I wonder why you look so little.
I have a little tiny phone. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Trudy.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Okay, we're going to go to executive session. So, I guess everyone other than council member Steve. Chief, I'd like you to stay for executive session if you would.
Sure.
Okay, we've come out of executive session where we discussed legal matters, litigation, other items. I guess if there's nothing else, I'm going to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah,
Oh.
really.
Do I have a second?
Second, Pete.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, everybody. Have a